A single mother's repayments have skyrocketed to $850 a week. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your hashtag $2 not sponsored coffee today and let's have a look at a snippet from a Facebook group that a user sent me. This was a single mother who was asking for advice because their mortgage repayments have skyrocketed, or it will skyrocket now with the cash rate going up. For those of you playing at home, you can see the cash rate has just snowballed to 3.1% with predictions that it will go even higher. And we're seeing and the banks have just passed on the latest rate to everyone as a lovely Christmas present, and we're seeing interest rates go up higher and higher and higher. Now, here's the thing. This is not natural. This is because part of the reason, a single mother who is concerned about this is because the government came to the rescue. The RBA juiced the housing market with insanely low rates. You've had Home Builder juice it up with every man and his dog going to build. You've got the first home buyer grants and up to 88 grand in concessions in some states. Now you've got shared equity. We're really heading down that socialist path. But it was the 5% and the 2% government loan guarantees. Now there's only about 10,000 people getting these things, but still, 2% is nothing. It is nothing. These are people who can't even scrape together a significant deposit, and which is completely understandable because rent is so expensive, cost of living is so expensive. Particularly if you're a single parent, it's tough. It's really tough. But the problem is, they didn't have these deals back when interest rates were 3% or 4% to help these people get in. They did it now. Now when rates were at 0.1%. So when the market was on the verge of being, was insanely low, and now interest rates do the exact opposite of what the media reported Philip Lowe saying. Or they did another scenario. They've shot right up to the moon. So you've got people who got in just because of this 2% little deal, and now they're screwed. They are screwed. They need to go through, they can't refinance, or they need to go to other banks that are part of this whole system. So let's have a look. Let's look at what she said here. Hi all. After purchasing a home earlier this year under the family home guarantee with 2.49% interest rates, okay, that's not bad. As you know, interest rates kept going up, and now I'm at a whopping 5.1% as of the end of this month. I mean, that's more than double an increase in your interest rates. Why didn't she go fixed? Why didn't she fix in? Probably because she believed when they said rates wouldn't go up till 2024. I'm assuming. Or maybe, can you fix with these there's special type of loans. Oh boy. This is a mess. I told you this was going to happen. We all knew it was. At the very least, a single mother, the banks are not going to kick them out of the home. The negative media, get a current affair on your bloody speed dial right now if they even threaten it. My broker says that I cannot refinance or make any changes to relieve this for 2 years. This means I'll be paying $850 per week. I'm so scared. As a single mum trying to stay above water, does anyone know what I can do? And let's bring over my Excel here and compare to what we're saying. So her loan, which she answered later in the comments, is for $575,000. So what are we looking at there? Hang on. How far off am I what they're paying? Oh, we're a bit cheaper than what they're paying. So she's paying $850. But this is a good guide, showing you nearly a 40% increase or $850 a month difference between the two. And we've got banks that rates are going up even higher than this. This is out of date now. I've got to update it because rates have gone up. So she's on 5.1. It may even get higher. What can you do? This will be less because she'll be 2 years lower here, but still. People are suggesting that she rents out a room. She gets a boarder in, but do you want that with your kids around? It's a bit different when you're young, single, getting someone in to live with you. If you're a uni student or a young professional, that's a different kettle of fish than if you've got children. You don't want strangers around your children. The highest risk of abuse in environments is when you have like, well, a single mother and a non-biological partner come into the space. That's the highest risk right there. You don't want to risk that with your kids. Maybe rent out the whole house and move somewhere else if you can, but I mean, it's going to be tough. There's no easy answers here. It's increase your income. It's the same answers as everything else. Increase your income, sell all the shit you can, reduce your costs, pump everything into the mortgage. And that's going to be bloody hard if you're a single parent with kids as well, trying to do all of that. It's going to be really tough. Really tough. Well, what would you suggest, guys? Let's have a bit of a talk about this one. There you go. You can see my programming music I'm listening to between recording. Here's the thing. This is the danger of this scheme. This scheme was designed for 10,000 people. I would imagine it was a vote winner. It's another bullshit solution at housing affordability. The problem with housing affordability in this country is that it's quite a complex issue. You've got it from federal all the way down to local council levels. All of these, federal, state, and local council, all of them play a part in what is driving up our housing affordability. At the local council level, you've got just the pain in the ass of dealing with the council to get any type of project off the ground, even a small renovation or extension. You've got to jump through hoops after hoops. Even a small, block split. You've got to pay all these crazy headworks and charges and extra costs. It's nuts. All of these things add up to additional costs and burdens in housing. At the state level, you've got more onerous requirements. You've got legislation put on in the building code for each of the states. You've got, like here in Queensland, it calls, 6-star energy efficiency, all of these schemes and requirements. You've got NCC requiring spaces to be designed as if they'll be air-conditioned, even when they will never be. All of these things add additional costs. You've got calls for, livable buildings and accessible buildings, which sounds great. And I completely respect the need for that in commercial and public spaces. But in private spaces, along with environmental changes, that's predicted to drive up the cost of new builds by $30,000 for each house. And so you've got a federal government that gets all the blame as well for housing affordability. So what do? Well, what can they do? They can't put their foot on the bloody throat of the states or the councils. They can just throw money at it. And then that just juices up the market even more. They can get stupid schemes like this, first home owner guarantees. So you're getting people who can't get a deposit together because they just don't have enough income. And I mean, it's not fair. It's all bullshit, but that's what they do. They juice up the market and they sucker people into things like this. Now you've got shared equity as well coming in. It's just going to create even more of a mess. I mean, is it ever going to solve here in Australia? Don't forget, we've got the not in my backyard crowd. So you have people at the local council level they will publicly bitch and moan and be on Twitter, housing affordability, wank, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And then they will be there protesting a multi-res development or something increasing the density in their neighborhood because we need to keep the character. Or they'll argue to keep old heritage buildings. I mean, okay, whoop-de-doo. If someone wants to keep an old heritage building, sure, let them do it. But do we need to have whole suburbs kept like that in inner city areas and cities where we're trying to increase our population? It's not good for the environment. If you're worried about carbon footprint and impact on the environment, you want higher denser cities because it's actually more efficient infill development. But this is just going to happen more and more. We're going to see more and more of these sob stories, guys. There's no easy solution to this. Kind of sucks. It really does. I mean, here's the question. Is the government taking advantage of vulnerable people who don't have the buffer of a two-party relationship, a couple, but also have the burden of having kids? Are they taking advantage of them for political purposes to get elected? And to have, what are they going to give a shit about them now? I mean, you're the bad guy. You argue against this type of stuff. People think, oh, you're a bad guy, Florian. You don't like people. No. You've got to look at this stoically. Okay? step back and realize how this can all the shit can all hit the fan. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions. What do you reckon? Do you think housing affordability will ever be solved in Australia? I can't see it. I can't see it. As always, thanks for watching. Check out HeiseBim and HeiseSays International. If you want to support us, you can, financially on YouTube or Patreon, using our referral links, buying our pocket squares, or calling us if you need an architect. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.